A couple weeks back, I ran a video entitled 6 Reasons Why Shotguns Are Better Than the AR-15, and of course, as I expected, anytime I do a video like that, people just knock the first couple critical words off the title, read it as all shotguns are better than all AR-15s all the time, every way. Next thing you know, I got viewers running over to Boomer HQ, AR15.com, saying, I cannot believe that transsexual James Reeve Dunn said that shotguns are better than AR-15s. And I'm kidding, I love the ARFCOM gang. I think I've been a member there for like 20 years and I am a boomer, so maybe I do belong there. But look, I'm perfectly capable of discussing why one platform is better than another platform in certain ways without saying it's the best thing ever and putting a sticker about it on my truck. Speaking of, and by way of example, I could give you 6, 10, maybe a dozen ways my Subaru Sandbar van is better than my Jeep Wrangler, but that doesn't mean that I think it's a better car, or at least a more useful one. While the AR-15 has, many would say for good reason, displaced the shotgun in the working role. That means shooting people. There are some things that the shotgun can do that the AR-15 simply can't, but at the same time, there are a lot of things the AR does that the shotgun can't. Start with one that you might think is the most obvious if you say, let your little sister shoot these two guns back to back. Although 12 gauge can generate upwards of 3,000 foot-pounds of energy with each shot, those pesky laws of physics always intervene when you're trying to have a good time with controlled explosions. Shotguns can be uncomfortable to physically damaging depending on the shooter, the gun, and the ammo. To put it into context, Chuck Hawks wrote some articles about rifle and shotgun recoil. In 1909, allegedly, British textbook of small arms states that 15 foot-pounds of recoil energy, maximum allowable for a military service rifle. The Lee Enfield in 303 British, coincidentally, generated about 14 foot-pounds of energy. So where do the AR and the 12 gauge fall on that scale? The AR-15 produces half the energy a shotgun does. 1,250, 1,500 foot-pounds of energy versus 2,500, 3,000 foot-pounds for the shotgun. The recoil might be half, right? AR-15, small and light, super fast round, low weight of the reciprocating mass, the bolt in the AR-15, and a robust buffer tube spring, among other factors, means that an AR-15 generates a mere 3 to 4 foot-pounds of energy. AR-15s are so easy to shoot, you could start a YouTube channel with your child mag dumping an AR, and the only injury he or she will have is mild to medium hematologically born lead during their formative years. But you get a ton of views. Totally worth it. I can tell you from experience that cognitive ability beyond respiration and vocalization, not required to run a successful YouTube channel. Yay, Saturnism. The shotgun, you won't believe this shit, guys. 12 gauge, 17 to 45 foot-pounds for non-magnum loads. Magnum loads can exceed 50 foot-pounds. The shotgun recoils anywhere between 4 and 18 times as much as an AR-15. Not only is it not pleasant, but this means the AR-15 is going to be generally easier to shoot accurately, much faster with more effective follow-up shots, and that's going to be very helpful for you because, number two, you get more capacity. Standard capacity in an AR-15, 30 rounds, but you can do whatever you want with it as long as it'll clear the mag well and your mag catch will hold it. With most tube-fed shotguns, you're looking at anywhere between 5 and 8 rounds roughly. With mag-fed shotguns, call it 8 to 12 without being silly, even though I'm well aware that you have 20-round mags that are longer than a nut and fancy video, or you got 25, 30-round drums the size of a basketball, none of which are well known for being handy or practical or durable or reliable or cheap. Mag swaps in an AR-15 go from 0 rounds to 30 rounds in a couple of seconds. Even if you hypothetically had a 30-round shotgun tube without gamer loading equipment like those big shot tube syringes or big-ass belt holster for quad loads, you would be the fastest little boy in the world if you could jam 30 rounds into a shotgun in under 30 seconds, which I presume may as well be 2 years if you're in a situation where you need to load that quickly. But that's assuming, again, getting a shotgun loaded quickly in a life or death situation is even a realistic concern for more than 1% of the viewers watching out there. Sure, you do have the aforementioned mag-fed shotguns. Are you familiar with these magazines? Have you met these magazines? Do you know how big these magazines are? Where are you keeping these magazines? In your Metal Gear inventory selection menu, I've got 3, 4, 5 magazine chest rigs for my AR. I'd absolutely love to see what a goon you would look like with a shotgun magazine placard instead with like 4, 5, 6 of those 8-round 12 gauge magazines. Way too big, way too impractical. And related to that, I hate the term, but like a tactical reload. You've got the opportunity and the need to top off, and you've got like a half full magazine in your AR. If you're good, you can do this one-handed in just a moment, you're topped off. The tube-fed shotgun's nice because if there's a lull, you can jam a round in whenever you got a second without literally unloading the gun like the AR-15 or anything else. But try that with a magazine-fed shotgun. I'm not saying it's impossible. I'm sure there's some psych-autistic AK files user out there who's mastered the administrative magazine swap on a Molot 12, but not only do the sheer size and weight of the mags make this difficult, but trying to insert, rock and lock a full magazine on a shotgun with a closed bolt requires more force than my wife trying to get me to go to Target, weekend buy candles on Amazon. There's so much tension that it usually takes like 2 hands to force a full mag into a closed bolt in most mag-fed shotguns, if you can even do it. These considerations bleed into number 3. Ergonomics and handling. I'm not saying that a shotgun or an AR are easy to use relative to, say, most handguns. In fact, when people recommend pump shotguns or ARs to their parents, I actually cringe a little bit because, in my opinion, it takes more discipline to master proper manipulation and maintenance of some of these long guns as opposed to a revolver or a simple semi-auto pistol. But that all said, ARs are just easier to manipulate than most shotguns. They're more ergonomically designed than most shotguns. They're easier to reload, easier to manipulate all the necessary functions while keeping your dominant hand on the grip than most shotguns. No need to manually operate it like a pump, which of course has its own pros and cons. Let's move on to number 4, modularity. Not even close. I honestly believe that there are more accessories available for the AR-15 than any other gun ever made in history. First, the design, genius. The registered component's the lower receiver of the AR-15. Take a few seconds, pop 2 pins, the complete lower comes off, put on a new upper. If you want something shorter, handier, use a 12.5-inch upper. Longer range, why not throw a 20 or 24-inch upper on your AR? You want to use it with a suppressor, or if you want intermediate range with AK-like ballistics, swap it to 300 blackout. Convert a standard lower to work with 9mm, 22, 458 SOCOM. Whatever, the possibilities are endless. For better or worse, the handguard, a virtually limitless expanse of real estate to trick out your AR with whatever it is you want. Bipods, VFGs, AFGs, D-balls, DSLs, DHLs, UPS, FedEx that shit straight to your house from Wish.com, Amazon.com, Cakefart.com, thermal clip-ons, M-Lock, Keymod, Q-Cert if you're a dirty hipster, plus nearly all upper receivers are cut with pick rail for mounting whatever optic you want. For the vast majority of shotguns, optics are not really an option, nor do they confer as much of a benefit given the limitations of the projectile. And if you want to add a weapon-mounted light or a sling to a shotgun, you've often got to buy something in addition to what you already have, and there's an 80% chance it's going to be Chinesium dog shit that's going to fall off before you get through your first box of 12 gauge. Although the shotgun is more versatile in terms of what you can actually physically load in and shoot out of the gun, the modularity of the AR-15 cannot be touched by really any other platform in existence. Number 5. Goddamn, I can only pick 6 from this video. Number 5, effective range. Everyone knows a shotgun is devastatingly effective between 0 and 100 yards, but beyond that, kind of dicey. Do I want to get hit with buck or a slug at 170 yards? No, I do not. But the weight, the ballistic coefficiency of 12 gauge projectiles means rapidly diminishing performance as distance increases. A 12 gauge round is about as aerodynamic as a 1988 Econoline van that I drive up and down Sorority Row 4 times a day. It's really hard to hit stuff far away with a shotgun. AR-15s, forget about it. Too easy, especially when you start optimizing your uppers and your optics for long range. With something like an 18-inch upper and a Walmart deer scope, making hits on target at 500 yards is easy. 600 or 700 yards definitely achievable if you have your dope dialed in and you know what you're doing. I guess we can throw range and accuracy together under one point, can we not? Generally speaking, an AR-15 going to be much more accurate, much more effective at longer distances than a shotgun, while being pretty much just as lethal inside of your home as a shotgun. Is the shotgun twice as powerful? Yes. But no one is saying, oh man, I shot a dude in the chest with M193 ball in my hallway and he just got up and ran off like a doe that got struck in the road by a tercel. Let's close this out with kind of a weird one. Number 6, armor defeating capabilities. I doubt it's going to feel great to get smashed in your breadbasket with double-aught buck or a slug if you're wearing ceramic plates, but the softer, slower, larger, and rounder shotgun projectiles will generally not penetrate armor. That said, Again, slug hitting your chest plate at close range will probably make the front and the back one touch, turn your insides into applesauce anyways.
We're going to send one 12-gauge round into that ballistic vest. It did not go through. Boy, that would hurt like hell, though.
But rounds like the M855A1 or the M995 with steel, tungsten penetrator cores are purpose-built to defeat some barriers, certain types of armor at varying ranges.
M855A1 is the military's newest, coolest, armor-piercing 5.56 round. One round of M855A1. We have a nice, clean hole. It punched right through. It didn't even fragment or tumble. And the hole on the back, let's bring it up to the camera, is straight through. It's like it just went straight through like an ice pick. This AR-500 plate did work against M855, which is traditional AP, but it absolutely did not work against the modern AP of A55A1.
That's a concern. The AR has that little lace up its sleeve too. ARs and shotguns each have their own roles, their own pluses, their own minuses, but we gotta face it, ARs have displaced shotguns in most patrol cars for a good reason. Jack of all trades, easy to shoot accurately and at distance with great capacity and more opportunities for practical accessories or anime-themed bullshit, or you can just build a regular old dick gun. If you like this video, consider supporting us at subscribestar.com/TFBTV or player.com/TFBTV. We are independent. We don't do pay-for-play reviews. We need you to watch our videos, but we also need you to support us. We give back to you, though. We give away thousands of dollars of gift certificates to our supporters from Top Gun Supply and from Blue Alpha every single month, as well as other random giveaways and perks. So think about it, help us out, but we're just glad you're watching. Take care, everyone.